Hello? Hello, and welcome. I'm super excited to get started. Let's see. Does everything sound okay? I hope you can hear me clearly and that the music's not too loud. Alright, well, since I can see that things seem to be working fine, let's go ahead and jump into it. My name is Sox, I'm a kobold, in case that wasn't very clear. So if you know anything about like D&D and those kinds of mythical races and things, you know, think of me as just like a small dragon. Alright, so I made this so that we could get to know each other a little bit better and you can know what I'm all about and who I am. So, like I said, my name is Sox. I'm a kobold. Let's see. And in case it wasn't clear, I also I like 90s stuff a lot. So, I wanted to throw together this little PowerPoint so that we could all get to know each other. All right. First, thank you. In case I didn't say that enough, I appreciate you coming to watch. Second, let's go ahead and get things going. All right. So what am I going to talk about? The first thing, sup. That's our first topic. Second topic are the deets. Third will be content, and then fourth will be social media. So, sup. Here's some fun facts about me and my interests and what I like to do. So, here are some hobbies. Just some generic interests. I like cards, trading cards, Digimon, Pokemon. Honestly, just about any kind of card. It doesn't really matter as long as I have fun looking at the cards, opening the cards, seeing what's going on. Digital pets. So, Tamagotchis, Digimon, those kinds of things. I've got way more of those than I care to admit. And then Furbies. I'm all about Furbies. They're just cute little robots. And very 90s. These are all very 90s things. Alright, so video games that I enjoy. Just about anything cyberpunk. Not necessarily like the cyberpunk game. But things that are cyberpunk aesthetic, cyberpunk music, that kind of thing. I enjoy that kind of stuff. Portal is one of my all-time favorites. The first, Portal, the first game and the second game. I just love them. My PC is actually white and is named GLaDOS because it's got blue and orange accents going on. So that's how much I like Portal. The extended drives in my computer are even named Carolyn and Cave. So if you've played those games, you might understand why they're named that. Alright. And then, like I mentioned already, Digimon and Pokemon. I love both of them. They're just good. They're a fun time. I have a lot of fun. Some of my skills include sewing. I'm better at sewing, like, accessories than I am sewing at clothes and cosplays and things. I do want to get better. I want to see if there's a way I can figure out how to sew on stream, but I might only be able to hand sew because machine sewing is just really loud. Unfortunately. And then also design. I like to design things, I like to draw things. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm like a good, talented, traditional artist, but I do like to design like carpets and fabrics, wallpapers, that kind of thing. So, some of my favorite media. For anime and movies, my all-time favorite movie is Spirited Away. I love that movie. I just have a good time watching it. Digimon, sorry Pokemon, your anime is just not as good. Digimon's has really good writing, and some of the other Digimon shows as well are just really good. Maho Shoujo Site is an anime about magical girls, in case that wasn't obvious. And it's about anime girls that get, like, their wands and things through a website. It has a lot of dark themes in it, so I would say if you're not comfortable with really heavy dark themes, don't check it out. But personally, I really like it. I think I like a lot of the creativity of wands because wands are used very loosely in that show. Um, some of the wands are like the first one that came to mind was a pair of underwear, and I hate that, but that's one of their wands. A gun is one versus like a normal. I have a magic wand and I can use it to do pretty cool things, like in Precure or Sailor Moon, that kind of stuff. And then Happy Sugar Life is another dark show. I watched it a long time ago. I ended up binge watching it, but I actually really enjoyed it. I kind of want to go back and read the manga for it. And then music that I enjoy. I like breakcore, which is very loud, but it makes my brain very happy. I have a good time listening to breakcore. Retrowave, synthwave, and vaporwave, in case that wasn't obvious from some of the music I have playing right now. Let's see. And then for some actual artists, I enjoy Daft Punk and the Gorillaz. I just have a good time listening to their music. And then manga. Pleasure and Corruption is what I'm currently reading. I'm genuinely surprised that that series isn't shrink wrapped. It says it's only 16 plus, so, but that is what I am currently reading. Also, The Ancient Magus's Bride is a really, really good series. I'm still actively reading it. I haven't read all of it, and there are also some spin-off titles for it as well. But it's just a really cool world if you enjoy, like, high fantasy kind of stuff. Magic, demons, monsters, dragons. It's kind of crazy. It made me cry after, like, a couple of chapters, but also I'm a big crybaby. Death Note, I mean, it's Death Note. What more can I say? And then Splatoon has a manga series, and I really enjoy the main Splatoon series. There is also a spin-off Splatoon manga series, but I prefer the main one more. It's just cool. Alright, and the deets. So, here is my character sheet. You can kind of clearly see what I look like a little bit better. So, I've got 4 fingers on each hand, and I've got 3 toes on each foot. A lot of my color scheme is seafoam green, that kind of pale turquoisey blue, and then lilac purple. I also, in case I didn't make it very clear already, really like 90s things. So, the jazz cup is a very popular motif. Worms on a string are popular, Furbies, Tamagotchi, windbreakers, continuing down the 90s things that I enjoy. I'm also 5 feet tall, which for a kobold is actually very tall. A lot of kobolds tend to be around 3 feet tall, 3 to 4 feet tall, but for whatever reason, the clan that I come from, all of our kobold people, I guess, tend to be around 5 feet tall. So that's average for my clan, but really tall. Yeah, very tall for a lot of other kobolds. And then I've also got my favorite shirt on. It's my Splatoon shirt, and I'll show you a little bit better once we get through my PowerPoint to kind of show off some of my things. Let's see. So, just to kind of review some more details. So, you might have caught on my reference sheet. It did say Kika, and Kika is, like, my traditional kobold name, but I do prefer that you just call me Sox. It just makes me more comfortable, and I like it more. For my measurements, like I said, I'm 5 feet tall, or 152 centimeters. My bust size, I don't really have a bust. I'm a reptile. That's just not a thing that we have. But I do have these ears, and they jiggle. Is that like the kobold equivalent of boing boing? Ear jiggle? Maybe. Alright, and then some other details. My birthday is January 16th. I'm about 44 years old, which, depending on who you ask as a kobold, is either very old or very young. Kobolds can live for a long time, but they do kind of have a low life expectancy because so many kobolds tend to be very reckless. So, but yeah, I think it's just because I ended up leaving my clan before anything crazy could happen. And then blood type, I don't really know how blood types work for kobolds. I just know my blood is purple. That's true. That's true. That is such a true kobold thing. Head is very empty, but shiny is very good. Oh man, I need all the things that make little click clack noises. They make me happy. Let's see. But yeah, so my blood is purple. I don't know if there's really like a blood type for in the way that there is for humans. I don't know how that works for kobolds. All right, just a little bit of lore and some more background about me and how a kobold acquired a computer. So, some kobold clans believe in kobold reincarnation. Not all clans do, but some do, and this can be seen by how there's kind of like an egg clutch, and once a very big and powerful kobold dies in battle or passes away, a bunch of kobolds will like rush to the egg clutch, and the next egg that hatches is deemed as like the reincarnation of that kobold. Unfortunately, the opposite is true. So, bad kobolds, unpopular kobolds, they also believe that they can be reincarnated as well. But again, that was something that was true for my clan. That's not necessarily true for all other kobolds. So, in my case, there was a kobold, and his name was also Kika, and he had a lot of human interests and things, which kobolds are very crafty, but from where I came from, human interests were kind of shunned upon. Anyways, they weren't liked. So for my clan in particular, you know, they didn't like that I enjoyed human things. I would sneak out, I would read books, I would go find people who had TVs and radios and all kinds of electronics. As I mentioned, I like all the digital pets and Furbies and things, and my clan was not too fond of that. So they renamed me Kika because he had passed away, and so they believe I'm the reincarnation of him. So here we are. Which is partially why I prefer that you call me Sox instead of Kika. But like I mentioned, I ran away. I didn't really like being in that environment. It's not very healthy to be, shunned by people like that. So I left. And I ended up getting kind of lost in the woods around for a while, and Caretaker found me, and he kind of takes care of me. Sometimes you might hear him in the background. He's trying to not bother us while I stream, but we do live together, so you might hear him moving things around or cleaning on occasion. And yeah, basically once I was taken in by Caretaker, I found the internet, and, well, here we are. So I get to stream to all you people because I enjoy video games and things, and I thought it would be fun to share those interests. Alright, and then content. What kind of content can you expect when you watch my streams? So, video games. Like I mentioned, I enjoy video games, whether those are story games, puzzle games, horror games. I'm very interested in cyberpunk games, again, like I mentioned before. I don't know if I'll play Cyberpunk 2077. I might just play more of the cyberpunk-themed aesthetic games and things. Games that you don't necessarily see as often. I would like to eventually set up card opening streams, whether that's Pokemon, Digimon. It could even be like a bunch of blind boxes. It could be a bunch of those cheap little dollar store cards you find. But I do like opening cards. It's, again, I think it goes back to the kobold brain. It's very much the shiny thing makes my brain happy. Maybe Magic. I'm not as big of a Magic player, though Magic cards do have really pretty art on them. So, we could always give that a try. Let's see. I also want to get more into model building. I've done some very light model building, and I think it would be cool to one day be building some of those big models on stream. It could even end up being multi-part streams, or it could even, maybe we could do some, like, long-term streams, some endurance streams while I build a model. Let's see. And then crafts. Like I mentioned, I want to see if there's a way I can figure out how to sew on stream. A machine might just be way too loud for that, but I could hand sew on stream. I'm better at making accessories anyways, and there are a lot of accessories you can make just by hand sewing. Other crafts might be things like perler beads, which are those beads you kind of put on the little pegboard and melt them together to make a bigger picture or motif or character or whatever. So that could be fun. And then of course just chatting streams, just casual